Hello and welcome to the Birthing the New podcast, where we discuss how we as business owners, mothers, and leaders actively create new, more generative, sustainable, and soulful paradigms, both in our work and in our families. I'm your host, Emily Nachazel. I'm an intuitive guide, business mentor, and mother. I work with women across the globe and across industries to create lives and businesses that are in full alignment with their values and their vision for the world. In this podcast, you'll find a mix of solo transmissions and powerful conversations with feminine leaders. We'll pull back the curtain around what it actually looks like to live and lead in today's day and age. If you're ready to stand more fully in your power, more confidently in your medicine, and more authentically in your life, you are in exactly the right place. Now let's dive into another rich conversation here on Birthing the New. Hello and welcome to the Birthing the New podcast. Today we have, I feel like I say this every week, today we have a special episode for you, but today we really do have something extra special. Instead of a usual episode, we are sharing a somatic practice with you, and specifically a somatic practice for when you want to quit. When you want to quit your business, when you want to quit your company, when you want to quit your job. And here's why we're sharing this now. Shout out to my incredible assistant, Jenna, for suggesting this. We're going to do an entire year retrospective, not next week, but the following week on the podcast. We're going to pull back the curtain around what happened behind the scenes of my company, what we are celebrating, what we are composting. Anyways, that's coming. But my sense for myself and from talking to countless other women is 2025 is not what we expected. And many folks are facing, especially business owners. I want to speak to business owners and I want to speak to experienced business owners here. So not just someone who's just starting out, although you may feel this like desire to quit when you're just starting out. The desire to quit, the feeling like you want to quit isn't necessarily a bad thing, and it isn't necessarily a wrong thing. This is something that I have to remind my clients. And why we have this practice for you is because 2025 feels like a year that tested us. So many of us went into this year thinking like, oh, like this was going to be the blow up, but we're still in the soil work. And the good news, not that like anything just changes at the turn of the year. I'm not really a believer of that. I don't even really believe in January as the new year. I feel like there's other times of the year that are more fresh starts, but there does feel like a clean slate, a clear slate, a new energy that we are stepping into in 2026, where we are going to see seeds sprout. The other thing that I want to name is that I'm hearing from a lot of folks that what worked before isn't working anymore. I've talked about how we are in turning times. I've talked about this call for doing things differently, matriarchal leadership, like this is happening. And so if you feel like you want to quit, if you've had those moments of feeling like throwing your hands up, like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what I'm doing here. Or why isn't this working? Or this doesn't feel right. This practice is for you. Sometimes that sensation of wanting to quit, we need to quit something. We need to drop something. We need to end something. And something that I've talked about for years inside of my containers is that can be a powerful choice. It's not a choice that society really commends for us, especially as women, like ending friendships, ending relationships. Quitting on something is generally seen as bad or not ideal. So that can be a path, but 90% of the time, especially when it is your company, when it is a company or a business or a product that you feel so passionate about, but you feel this like exasperation or defeat or depletion, is you're not being asked to quit the business or the project. You're being asked to quit a way of showing up or to look at things differently. And so this practice is designed to get you in your body, to feel what's going on there. And the last thing that I'll say on this is that what happens sometimes is we feel that like, oh, I feel like I need to quit. And then we just burn things down. And again, that can be a path, but so often it's like a more subtle layer that needs to be burned down, not the entire offering, not the entire company, not the entire vision. So let's get into it. I'm so excited for you all to have this, especially at the end of the year. And I hope that if this year has felt sticky in any ways, disappointing in any ways, like if you're ending it kind of feeling like, hmm, that wasn't what I expected, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure what 2026 holds or how I want to approach it. I think this practice will be really, really helpful for you. So you'll need about 15 minutes. With these somatic practices, they are audio journeys and you can do it with your kids around. But if you can make the space, the 15 minutes plus a little time afterward for integration, for digestion, for sitting with what came up, I do recommend taking the time to do this by yourself because, yeah, especially when we're talking about quitting, like we've talked about on the podcast, if we're talking about rejection, if we're talking about grief, like feelings can come up. And I don't know, I let my kids see me cry, I let my kids see me rage, and it is often better for me and for them if I can also have some containment and some space to really let go, to not be the mom, to not be kind of how I shared about in the birth story episode, which if you all haven't listened to, we shared Sadie's birth story last week. You definitely want to dive in. This one is super juicy. And so special. But I shared in the birth story that I couldn't have my son. I didn't know what we were going to do about Flynn. But in the moment, I couldn't have him there for the end of birth, for the the 1 hour of active labor. He left the house at 6:15. She was born at 7:15. And so, yeah, just permission to carve out some space so that you can really move with what is here if there is something big here. So about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more for integration. Bring a journal, bring some water, um, have some space to move. And when you do this, I really would love to hear what comes up for you. The best way to get in touch with us is to leave a comment on the Substack. So you can leave a comment on the podcast episode page on Substack. You can also reply to our podcast emails and you can tag me on Instagram. Although right now, y'all, I am not on Instagram. Taking a little break. Maybe I'll share more about that in our year-end episode. It was so overdue and so needed. And yeah, so if you tag me there, I might not see it. So comment on Substack if you do this practice and what it opened up for you. I cannot wait to hear. Oh, and one last thing. If you loved this, if you were like, whoa, I don't know what just happened, but I need more of this in my life, I know you are going to love my course, Made for More. We'll put a link in the show notes. This course is designed around manifesting more money, increasing your capacity to receive and hold money. And inside you will find, I think we have 6 or 7. There's 6 core emotional alchemy practices like this: alchemizing overwhelm, alchemizing pressure, alchemizing anger. So going into these tough feelings, like feeling like you want to quit, going into these tough feelings, moving them through a guided audio journey, and then taking the gold out the other end and finding a way forward that really serves you. So that's Made for More. There's so much more in the course beyond the practices, but if you're hungry for more of this, if you're hungry for more, definitely check out Made for More. Again, we will include a link in the show notes. All right, y'all, enjoy.
This is a practice for the days, the moments when you want to quit your business. Giving yourself a moment to come into your body. Taking a deep breath in and a full breath out. And bringing your hands together in front of you, rubbing your hands together, creating some friction, creating some warmth. And bringing those hands over your eyes, pressing the heels of your hands into your eyes. Giving yourself some light pressure here. And using the next few moments to find physical touch. So your hands may be touching your face, your head, your neck, your shoulders. Just using your hands to explore, connect, drop in what's here for you right now. Moving down the body. You can use light pressure or a brushing movement. Bring your hands to as much of your body as possible. Your back, your spine, your lower back, your hips, your belly. Touching your arms, your shoulders, your hands. Making your way down your legs. Maybe it feels like a gentle massage. Down to the knees, the calves, the ankles. And spending a moment with your hands connecting to your feet. So you might have to sit down or shift your position. Bringing your hands first to the tops of the feet, then to the bottoms of the feet. Taking another breath and noticing if there's any place that you weren't able to access, that you weren't able to reach. Sending a little bit of awareness, energy there with your mind's eye, or maybe you revisit it with your hands. And gently stepping to one side of your space. Inviting in the part of you who wants to quit, who wants to give up, who wants to move on. Really letting this voice, this character come into you, giving them the mic, giving them space. First noticing where this character shows up in the body. Is it a clenching in your throat? Is it twisting in your gut? Is it pressure behind your eyes? Does it feel hot? Does it feel cold? Giving yourself a few moments to explore, who is this character? Who is this part? How is she coming forward? And if you're not already, you can let your body move in a way that she wants to move. Maybe she wants to throw something. Maybe she wants to curl up into a ball. Shake her head. Just let her come online and express first with her body. How does she want to move? How does this quitting or giving up feel today? Letting your body take those shapes. Take that shape. Or take that stillness, as stillness is a shape. And giving this character the mic. And seeing if there's anything that she wants to say. That she wants to say or ask for. Giving her a moment to express, not just with her body, but also with her voice, with her words. Noticing if, as you express, there's a shift in the body sensation, a shift in the experience of wanting to give up, wanting to quit. I'm just taking another moment here, listening for what is moving, what is being said from this part, what is being asked by this part. And taking a breath and gently releasing her for a moment, stepping to another side of your space, as if you are stepping out of that character and into another. And the second character that you're stepping into is commitment, is committed. The you who's committed to the vision, who's committed to the process, who's committed to the mission, who's committed to your medicine. The part of you who doesn't want to quit. Just taking a moment here to bring this character into the body. Noticing how she wants to stand, wants to move. Maybe there's something she wants to say, maybe not yet. From the position of commitment, allowing yourself to draw into your mind's eye this quitting character, the first character that we worked with. Just letting that character come into view, noticing what happens when these two come into space together. Is one character older? Is one character younger? Is there a lot of distance between them, not a lot of distance between them, but bringing them into space together. And from the space of commitment, taking a few breaths to just be in full acceptance of the part who wants to quit. So there might be something that commitment wants to say of like, you've got this, or, encouragement, reorientation. But for now, see if you can be in this character of commitment and hold compassionate, loving, accepting space for the part of you who wants to quit, the part of you who wants to run, the part of you maybe who wants to burn it all down. And stepping out of the commitment character, stepping back into the character who wants to quit. Remembering how she moved, what posture and gesture your body took. Bringing her back into you. And allowing just a few breaths for her to be witnessed by commitment. So you see commitment in the space, and from this position of the character who wants to quit, you receive that acceptance. That compassion. Noticing if there's anything that shifts for this character that wants to quit. Simply by being held in acceptance, being held in love. Seeing if there's anything that loosens or softens in your body, anything that opens up. And we'll ask this character once again if there's anything she wants to say or ask for. What does she really want? What does she really want to quit? What does she really want to give up? How does that come through in her body? Giving her another moment to share a desire, a request, a golden nugget. Taking another breath in and another breath out, and bringing yourself back to a neutral space. You may feel complete in this moment with what has come through, with what has shifted in your body. If it feels like there's more to be said, you are welcome to continue to work this conversation between commitment and the part of you who wants to quit until you feel like there's a resolution, an integration, or a release.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Birthing the New. I'd love to hear which pieces of this conversation resonated most for you. You can find me on Instagram at Emily Nachazel and on Substack at Birthing the New. Substack is also where you'll find the complete show notes and any resources mentioned in the episode. If you love this conversation, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast wherever you listen. This is how others find the show, and I so appreciate the support.